Travis Brown, Horror Movies Uncut, Submissions and Slashers, and the final cut, all here at Hysteria Fest. I told you guys I was going to do my hardest to try to track down some interviews with some of the actual filmmakers that have made it to the festival. One of the shorts that played last night on the opening night is The Baby, and I have the filmmaker Taylor Bustamante with me right here. And we're going to talk about things The Baby, things California, and things horror movie related. So first and foremost, how are you doing? Welcome to St. Louis.
Thank you.
How's your experience been so far, your first night in Hysteria Fest?
Hysteria Fest has been pretty awesome. I really like the crowd. I don't know if you were around whenever Paul brought me up after my film to talk briefly. Were you still around?
I was still kind of making my way out the door at that time. I was on fumes.
Yeah, no worries. I get it.
It was a long day.
But one of the things that stuck out to me about the Hysteria Film Fest crowd is I likened it to like when you play in a band and how kind of when you see your film playing on the festival circuit, each crowd is different.
Yeah.
And like when you play in a band, you sort of feed off the energy. Every crowd is different too.
Right.
With Hysteria Film Fest, people were laughing at like the right moments in the film, gasping, oohing, awing at the right moments. So it felt really nice. It felt validating. It was a good crowd. And they were doing that all night, for the entire block.
Right.
So an enthusiastic crowd. So I love it. And St. Louis is, even though it's hot and muggy, I love it.
So how many film festivals have you played at so far?
This is our fourth.
This is your fourth film festival? And what has been the kind of overall reaction that you've been getting so far from the short?
It's hit or miss. I think people are either unaffected by it or they really like it.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things that is interesting to me, did you stick around for the very end of the credits where it has that little statistic?
Yep.
Well, I put that statistic in because I thought it'd be creepy, but I've gotten the note from several people that they read that statistic as me saying, the subject matter of the film isn't that big of a deal. I was like, because it's such a rare crime that only
people
like
don't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah, that only like a couple dozen documented instances are out there. But that's definitely not what I was saying. I was trying to make it creepy, but I think it's funny. There's even a letterboxed review that says it.
And it says it at the end of the review?
Yeah, they're like, the filmmaker's trying to tell you to chill. Like, don't worry, it's not going to happen to you.
Well, I feel like sometimes you just don't know who you offend. That's usually how that plays. So tell me a little bit about the origin of the short. Where did the story of The Baby come from?
Yeah.
I know this was kind of involved with some school stuff we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So tell me kind of a little bit of background history on the film.
Yeah, so I'll start off by saying normally I always have a hard time coming up with ideas. Like if somebody's like, for instance, Mondo is asking me my 5 top favorite movies, and then he asks that question, I just blank. I forget that I've even seen any movie, right? I'm like, what are movies?
You're like, I can tell you what I saw yesterday. Maybe.
Exactly.
Still trying to figure out lunch.
So I was taking a class. It was my senior project. We had to do a short film. It was a production class. And for whatever reason, this time around, it was like, come up with an idea. And immediately, I knew what I wanted to do. So during COVID, I became a true crime aficionado. Okay. It started with watching like...
Did you start making bread too? Were you making bread too?
Nope, just that.
Just checking.
No knitting either.
Okay. Yeah. We had our conversation about the knitting and what that has done to people.
And the protagonist, the main character of my film, she's it's not crocheting. I can't remember. It's one of the ones.
It's one of the ones.
Crocheting, knitting,
doing something with
embroidering.
Yeah,
that's
what it is.
So what was the question? My idea? How I came up with it?
Yeah, like where did it kind of stem from?
Okay.
Because I mean, like, how often do you just say, oh, you know what? I like, even though I'm sitting here laying in the bed watching true crime on Netflix over and over for the umpteenth time, I really want to just kind of be fascinated about a woman stalking another person.
Yeah. So I would watch 3-hour interrogation videos on YouTube, and I was like, what is this craziness that...
And why is there so many white people?
Always. Yes. And so...
Sorry, I just had to...
No, always. Yeah, he's not wrong. But so there was this one particular story that like lives in my head rent free.
Okay.
And so we were we spent one class in this particular class trying to figure out how to come up with an idea, and my teacher said, think of a headline, and I was like, immediately got it. I don't want to give away too much of what it was, but it was a true crime story that influenced the baby.
Okay.
That was just, I'd never heard of such a thing.
Okay, so you actually dug into some real shit that was going on.
Oh yeah, so.
Did you do any extra research on the people
Yeah.
that was in the story? Did you find, what was one of the most weirdest kind of things that you found out personally about anyone involved in the story? Did you find out like somebody had a weird like Cheeto allergy or something?
No.
Like that?
No, but there's a trend, and
Okay.
it's always, the perpetrator is always like a middle-aged white woman.
Okay.
So I guess I could be this person.
You guys,
Who
when
is
the world ends, I'm just blowing up coffee shops. I'm taking all of y'all out right off the bat. Like, I know where all y'all hang out. I'm just blowing up coffee shops.
well, spare the baby at least.
Yeah, spare the baby.
The baby's innocent in this. So, yeah, and they're usually past child rearing age, but that's all. I mean, I don't want to say any more.
Right.
But
right.
that is like the pattern.
Yeah. So let's talk about like the films you like and kind of how that plays into this world of the baby. Like when you're setting up shots, when you're having arguments with your DP on what needs to be done for a certain shot, what are some of the films that you remember watching that made you say, you know what, like those are the types of films that I want to make? I mean, and even you're a writer also. So like I would also think there'd be some books that have inspired you possibly.
Oh yeah. So books, 100%. I could start with R.L. Stein because I'm an elder millennial.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. That's our dude.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
So the Goosebumps series, and then I remember like, God, it must have been 5th grade when I graduated to what was the one?
Fear Street?
Yeah. And I felt so old.
Yeah, dude, it was great.
I was like, I'm reading the Fear Street. Like,
and there's kids getting killed.
Yeah. And I was like, what is this? So definitely started with books, and then I stopped reading for a while. Well, Chuck Palahniuk would be another one. I remember when I first read his book, Fight Club, in the 90s. I was like, what is this? Like nobody got that weird into the psychology of things.
Yeah.
And so I read all of his books. I think he says it differently. Palahniuk.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to say his last name, but then like I think most people, I stopped reading books for a long time. Until Gillian Flynn. Do you know her? She's the one that did Gone Girl. Yeah. So I loved her books too. So it's essentially when people are doing really fucked up things to each other, to themselves, like super internally, psychologically fucked up, that's where, for some reason, I'm into it. Yeah.
Do you feel when you're reading some of these things and you're writing and stuff, you're already kind of visualizing what that would look like as a scene if it was in
Absolutely.
A movie?
So
like, I feel that's something common with writers.
Yes.
It's like as we're writing, we're also kind of seeing the scene.
Yes,
being portrayed
which is such a
as
good point because I'm trying to write a feature. I've been on this thing for like 3 years. And what's been hardest for me about the feature is visualizing it.
Okay.
Because there's so many layers to writing a feature. It's brand new to me. I'm a short film. I've only done ever short films.
Yeah.
And it's simple. You're essentially just capturing like one small moment in time for a short film. But for a feature, it's a lot longer, and then you have more people's stories to add in, and they all have to make sense. At least that's how I want it to be. So I haven't been able to visualize my feature yet, only small moments. But with this film, The Baby, immediately, as soon as I had the concept, when I was writing, I could visualize everything perfectly. So that's always how I know that I have a story that I'm ready to tell.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So when you meet someone like Serra and you're like introducing this role, which it's one of the hardest things about interviewing and talking about short films is it's very hard not to give something away.
Yeah.
But it's just hard not to talk about how wonderful a job that she does in the film. So I'm kind of curious, like, what were some of your interactions when you first met her? Because you said you had to hire some actors and things like this for this. That was all new to you also.
Yeah.
So what was that kind of back and forth like when you first started talking to her about, hey, I really would like for you to be in this, and this is kind of what I'm looking to do with the character?
Yeah, well, it was actually quite seamless. She was really responsive and receptive. So
She's a comedian also?
Yeah, she's a comedian.
Okay.
But she has done like more drama. Before The Baby, she was doing more drama and a horror short that I'm aware of. But so I found her on Backstage, which I've actually found all of the actors on Backstage. And with Serra, she originally auditioned for the other role of Rebecca. And when I saw her, because I already knew I had done a mood board in class, so I already knew what I wanted her to look like. And did you ever see Desperate Housewives? So Brie.
Not by choice, but yeah. Yeah. Do I look like the type of dude who watched Desperate Housewives?
I feel like a girlfriend or a girlfriend would force you to watch that.
Exactly. Like walking in and talking about, like, I thought we were about to watch the Rangers game. What is this? Who are these women?
So I actually started.
Why can I not stop watching this?
Right? How is it so addictive? I actually started watching that film or that show for a film class called Death in Cinema. And I had heard that Desperate Housewives was narrated by a dead woman. And so my point of this essay that I was going to write was like movies are trying to somehow subtly prove that there's an afterlife. Whatever, that was part of the argument. But so I ended up watching the first season with my roommate at the time.
Okay.
And then we kind of watched it as a joke, and then we got eerily and oddly hooked on it.
Okay.
And so then we ended up watching the whole thing. But anyway, Brie, the character Brie, she's so prim and uptight, and then Gone Girl, the main lead actress of that. Those were my two inspos.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so when I saw Casey, she's like tall and slender with a short haircut and like did that uptight woman so
look.
well.
Yeah, she's got that look.
I just knew. I immediately knew.
About her.
Yeah.
Like a Katie.
Yeah, totally. Well, and then she'll even play that role on her Instagram because she's an Instagram comedian. So she'll do little skits where she plays that person.
Okay.
Yeah, the Karen.
So to wrap this up, so we can let some other people get doing what they need to do, and thank you so much for your time.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
If someone was to walk up to you on the street and you had to give a quick plug of the baby, a quick pitch, a quick sales to get them to get their ass in and watch it at the next festival, is this going to be playing someplace else also?
Yeah, we just got accepted to Pacific Northwest festival called Cabin in the Woods. So it plays next month.
Okay.
In Seattle, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
So how would you pitch the baby?
How would I pitch it?
This is one of those moments where you can't answer the question.
No, it's like you asked me what my favorite movie is. I don't. What are movies?
I don't know. What are movies?
Well, I can just tell you that a woman is super obsessed with being a mom, and it takes her to a dark place.
Okay.
Yeah.
That works. That works. So, is there anybody you'd like to thank in regards to the film that you worked with before we finish up this?
My entire crew. Just for donating their time. I mean, freaking epic. And then Patrick, the producer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And where can people find you, the short?
On Instagram, thebaby_film. And yeah.
And you can find it on my review that I posted on the website.
That's right.
Today. So, and it's going to be on IMDb in about an hour. So look that up also. Thank you very much. So,
yeah. And
Taylor,
thank you so much, Travis.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me
Best
on.
of luck with everything coming up in the future. And we're going to hop off the stage so we can get some trivia stuff getting.